All right, like I kept trying to say while these mo's were talking about coffee, viewer discretion advised. This is some serious patchwork podcast material. We're probably going to look more like the Wizards today than the Sixers.
Just
But with that said, here they come. Let's talk about them. We're talking game 2 and game 3 today. All right. Uh, I'm as slow as the animation of the podcast right now. But let's bounce right into it with Doc Rivers pointing to game
oh!
2.
Get on.
Let's go Sixers.
Yeah.
You know it's a good game when you have guys like Paul Reed, Anthony Tolliver, all coming in, getting probably, well, not the bench guys, but at least guys like Thibault almost getting as many minutes as the starters. No starters, as you can see from the list here, got or even played more than 29 minutes. So great sign. Just if I were to tell you guys that before you watch the game, I mean, what would be your thoughts? What were your thoughts on the game in general? Give me what you got on Sixers game 2.
I feel like game 2 and game 3 went about how game 1 should have gone if Embiid didn't get out in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, game 2 and game 3 were pretty
Yeah.
similar, honestly. I mean, I think game 3 we were like kind of blew them out even more, but I mean, game 2 is how the Sixers should play against the friggin' Washington Wizards, who suck.
Game 2 is the type of defense that we definitely want to see through the rest of the playoffs. Well, I think it was like 10 team steals, or 10 team blocks, 14 team steals. It was just like, it's amazing.
Game 2, I mean, what was Matisse, half of them?
Yeah. I mean, Matisse and Maxey were seriously just like dominating the second half of that game. It's awesome.
Maxey had 3 blocks.
Yeah, dude. Everyone was getting in on the block party.
I think everybody had a block. Ben had a block. I think everybody just wanted to
Dan
join
Green
the fun.
had a couple, yeah.
I think
the progression of the defense has been amazing, and I think, like, especially going from game 1 to game 2 to game 3, and I think Britt said it for game 1. I think that was the best game the Wizards were going to have, and I think he's clearly right. I think that's the best game that they were going to have. I don't know if it was a testament to our defense or not, but I don't think we'll see anything like that from them coming into, what I think is going to be the last game in game 4. Like we said, the starters, it wasn't just one player. I mean, it was kind of the three-headed monster, but at the same time, all the starters in this game got at least. Oh no, sorry, I'm thinking game 3. But between Joel, Ben, Tobias, all in the 20-point range, doing what they need to do. The Philadelphia media was saying, Ben, we need you to do more than 6 points and do something at the foul line. And Ben was like, all right, I'll do better. And we're still criticizing him from the Philadelphia media standpoint, but
dude, it's so crazy. It does not stop. Some of these people just must enjoy being miserable. Some of these Simmons haters.
Flay couldn't wait to strike. he couldn't wait to get hit out on these haters.
Dude, I'm the so-called Simmons hater here, and I think he's playing great.
No, yeah, but you're not even amongst like that.
Yeah,
like,
I know what you're talking
select
about.
percentage of fans who like literally just have a criticism
I've heard it
anytime he does anything. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So I think we go out to Simmons haters today then, because literally game after game 1, right, post game breakdown, you hear people saying, Ben, we need more from you. He goes out, does that in game 2.
22, 9, and 8 is insane.
They still come up with a way to criticize him and say, like, oh, well, 22 points isn't 37 points. It's not 40 points. You're not an all-star. But who cares? We're getting the wins, and these are dominant wins. They didn't break 100 points in game 2. The Wizards barely broke 100 points in game 3. It's like our defense is playing amazing. The field goal percentage shooting has been, top marks. How can you get much better than this? How can you ask for much better?
We're like scoring like every time we touch the ball. It's crazy.
We're playing good basketball. We're getting finally the open guy.
I mean, look at the field goal percentage differences. We shot 55.7. Washington shot 40.2.
Wait till I show you game 3 too.
Yeah, dude, game 3 is amazing.
It only
that's
gets
the thing
better.
Jackson, that's the thing is 40.2 isn't even like that bad.
Looking at the Sixers,
50, I mean, hitting over half of your shots is just, there's no way. It's like when we played the Bucks late in the season and they just could not miss a 3-pointer. It's like when you play like that, you're not going to lose.
And look at the graphic. I mean, the difference between not only field goal percentage, but I think 3-point percentage was a big difference in this game. and you know who was radio silent the whole time was Bertans. I mean, he fouled out. He's become a meme at this point. You know, 0 for 4, and then also fouled out of the game. Did absolutely nothing but
Goose egg.
contribute fouls for his team. So
I heard Bertans
Nothing
could be
come from
good.
him.
Like last year, they had a lot of ball movement and whatnot, and he made some shots. But this year, he's just been stinking. Their ball movement, they're like
he's the
fourth, I
catch
think, in
and
the
throw
league,
guy.
like last. They have no ball movement. He's never open. He's just forcing it and blowing it.
I don't know about you guys, but I could skip the rest of the series at this point. Like especially
You mean one
like,
game?
Yeah, it should be
Yeah,
one game.
no, exactly.
Yeah.
Even after game 2, though, I
Not
was,
many games to watch.
Yeah, even after game 2, I was like pretty confident
Oh yeah.
upgrading from what I thought was going to
Yeah.
be a 5-game series to a sweep. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, I the way I looked at it, like for game 3 was like, it could be close just because it's the first game in Washington. Maybe that would help them
Yeah.
out, and then it obviously didn't. So I mean, I don't see a way we lose game 4.
That was all the rage was we got 10,000 fans in the stand, and what did that pay off? It didn't pay off.
Wells Fargo.
Not that I
Wells Fargo's
not that I
full
expected
capacity,
it
by the
to.
way, now.
10,000
They're
fans in
now
the
full
stand
capacity.
and one jackass with a fucking bag of popcorn.
Yeah,
you
Well,
gotta talk about
that was at Wells Fargo, but
That's
I'm
all I
popcorn.
want to. That's all I want to say about it because that's
talking
all
about
that
Washington.
That's
Oh, Washington
all
had
the-
10,000 fans?
10,000.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking
Well, that's
about
game
game.
today,
I'm talking
but-
about game
11,000 for the Sixers at 50% capacity, but I don't know what capacity the Wizards were at that point.
Yeah, I'm talking about game 2. Just wanted to point out real quick how the national media just love to talk about the popcorn.
We gotta jump on the popcorn.
Don't talk about the actual game though.
Not the game at all. Like, and it's fine because obviously the popcorn is a terrible move, and I think I speak for all of us when I say that person deserves like the lifetime ban and anything else that comes with them.
Yeah.
So let's bring that up then real quick. So how not only the event that actually took place, but also how the Sixers handled, which I think we'll all just do a quick yes, we agree. Really, really just don't like the fans calling up all the sports stations this week and defending this guy throwing popcorn on Russ.
Twitter was the worst, man.
I don't like Russell Westbrook, but don't throw. It doesn't matter. Let's be clear. It doesn't matter what it is, who you're doing it to, what you're throwing. Just a lot of distasteful things happening this week with basketball, with people throwing and/or spitting on people.
NBA
Not great
fans
for
took a big
basketball.
L.
Not great
What
for the
if-
product. Not great for the players. It really sucks. It's basically you as the fan saying you have control over something or saying that you're better than the person, like, in their own space. Just don't do it. It's not cool. It's not great. Gives us a bad look to national media. We'll be living with this for the rest of our lives now.
You already
You don't think he was aiming for Russell's mouth? He was trying to hook him up with a snack.
And if you're trying to do that, just pretend like you're getting hit by somebody and you accidentally throw the popcorn over the shoulder. I
Maybe
mean,
he was like, "Hey, Russell, catch!"
you just
and
lost-
Russell didn't hear him.
you just lost your Sixers potential playoff tickets, dude. You're out forever. I mean,
That's
and
fucked up.
actually,
You can't do
not just Sixers games, but any Wells Fargo event. So any concerts that are taking place or anything like that. I don't know how they actually keep track of that stuff, but
Well,
I think it's,
not
I think it's
not a
very
great look.
disrespectful and fucked up that he
Not a
did
great
it. But I
look.
do think it
Not a
would have
great
been funny if he was really trying to aim for his mouth and he didn't hear him.
The only problem with that is that he literally like dumped the entire bag of popcorn. It wasn't just one piece.
Yeah.
The one thing that I just
Not
wanted
great.
to also, like the reason I brought this up is because it's so funny. You see everyone is now like, everyone bags all Philly fans in the same bucket with this one guy, and everyone on the internet and on
A
the
few
radio
bad
is like,
eggs.
oh, all these Philly fans, typical Philly fans. Screw you guys, dude. It's not all Philly
They're like,
fans.
Not
Everyone in Philly in
everyone
that
the
situation
stadium
would have done the same
is
thing.
everyone is chastising that guy for the most part, except for like a couple of like real out there people.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
you also have to you have to remember that there was also literally a similar incident in New York that same day, or I think it was the
Yeah.
same day. It
the
was
Hawks.
And
on
then-
Yeah,
Trae
and
Young.
then two
That was-
fans.
that was
in,
way worse,
A
though.
Western Conference game.
Way
I think
worse.
It was,
Yeah, it is worse.
Utah.
It is
I
worse.
think two fans on the Utah and the Utah series. I forget who they're playing off the top of my head right now, but the two fans got into a fist fight, like in the.
So-
Well, that's happened to us too.
Fans are back and causing trouble.
Yeah,
So
right. The
here-
NBA
yeah.
finally allows all these fans back in, and this is what they do, dude. Real nice.
So, dear sports media on a national level, one, it's not just Philly. Two, look at the masses and the majority. Like Flay said, we're chastising this guy. We don't like this guy. Get him out. Let's move on.
Yeah, like
Um,
we dump popcorn. It's bad. but like the
It's
New
not a
York
great
fans
look. It's
spit
not all
at
of us. Yeah.
Trae Young.
yeah, Trae Young.
Yeah,
And then
dude. What is?
the
Wait. What is this we?
What?
Yeah, you're talking about. You're saying this collective we for the
yeah, Philly
Philadelphia
sports
fan.
fans aren't as bad as the other
As,
fans. The other
as
fans
Nick.
are doing worse things. They're spitting at players.
Oh,
The
gotcha,
Utah
gotcha.
fans are
I thought you were trying
saying
to group us
racist
in with
things
this
to
guy
Ja
again. I'm like,
Morant.
don't do it, dude.
I
Yeah.
like how we're saying,
Honestly-
don't generalize, and then Jackson's generalizing against the other sports fan bases.
I
You
I
kind
just
of
think,
generalize back.
I just think we need to stop talking about it. Honestly, obviously we're gonna bring it up because we kind of have to. But
We
like,
have to talk about it.
but
It
it's like-
happened. It's there.
it's so annoying that it's like we're gonna hear about this a lot, and there's just no. I mean, it's friggin' popcorn, dude. Like, obviously, it's like don't do it. It's you have like that guy should be banned, but it's friggin' popcorn, dude. It's not like you threw a friggin' bat at him, like. I don't
Is-
know.
is it-
I mean,
is
it's
it-
not.
is it like-
It's not about that. It's about like the act itself. It's.
No, I
doesn't
know,
matter
I
what
know.
it throws, but
But like we're acting. I feel like some people are like just completely blowing it out of proportion. That guy should be banned.
But-
End of story. Like, let's stop talking about it.
And
Yeah,
it's
I
like-
mean-
but for the sake of this podcast, is it like the elephant in the room? Like you run into your ex at a party, and it's like you have to say hi to her. And we have to like bring it up, but we don't have to talk about it forever. Let's just
Yeah.
dismiss it.
Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about it. I just think some people are like, oh, dude, that guy.
I think
have to
that's a
go
great
over it.
segue into Game 3.
Wait,
And-
before we go to Game 3, I
Jackson has
think we
something in
need
his
to
eyes
bring
that
up
he wants to
Matisse
get out.
Thybulle's 20 minutes, 5 blocks, 4 assists. I mean, 4 steals. It was absolutely historic, and everybody else who had done it, it's like a legendary company that he did it with, but they had all done it in like 30 plus minutes, and he did it in 20 minutes. He's
Elite.
insane.
I
don't
keep
think we
saying it, dude. I don't understand how. Like, I don't know how he does it.
I'm
It's
putting
like-
future prop bets on him to be Defensive Player of the Year next season.
Dude, he could have been Defensive Player of the Year
Yeah,
this season.
I mean, the problem with that play is you might not make a lot of money because people will realize it, how great he is by then. Hopefully,
Yeah, I mean, he's probably actually going to be competing with Ben for DPOI.
so
I feel like minutes wise,
yeah.
dude, he like if you look at his stats this year, he probably was like in the running.
Yeah,
So-
definitely late in the season because I think he came alive late.
Yeah.
So 20 minutes in this game, I think, if I'm just looking at my notes, he gets the 5 blocks, 2 steals in 20 minutes. Honestly, it felt like the last 10 minutes of the game where he just did all of that. Can we talk about, and it's kind of for both games, but the Maxey Thibault combo? It just feels like the dynamic duo of Batman and Robin out here.
Something I
Yeah.
wanted to bring up about them is Thybulle's been, like mentoring Maxey on defense. And in game 2, Maxey had 3 blocks, and all 3 blocks, I'm pretty sure, were like him running up behind the defender, getting it from behind,
bull-
which is
a
exactly
bull
what
block?
Thibault does. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
bull block, dude.
bull
He
block,
had
dude.
3 bull blocks.
A little flick
It's
from
just so
behind,
quick.
just
He knows
get it
where
out
to
of
go.
there. Yeah.
That mentoring is really showing.
So yeah, if I had to, put out a one-liner of what this second game was before we move on to game 3, I would say,
Let's
Look
all
at
put
that
out a
3.
one-liner.
let's all go around and just give it a quick one-liner. I would say 3-pointers. So if you're looking at, and there's the defense part aspect of that from the Sixers, but 9% from the 3-point line for the Wizards.
Pitiful.
I mean that speaks to, I think, Bertans going out of this game and not doing anything in this game because he's the only 3-point shooter. If you look across the first 2 games, I think Beal went 1 for 12. I think Russ went 2 for 12. So those are the only other shooters in my mind who could actually make, a 3-point shot. So I think if I were to say, final conclusion from this game, there was nothing coming from even 2-pointers. Just looking at the field goal percentage difference, but nothing hitting from downtown from the Washington Wizards.
That's a long one-liner.
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing.
It's a story. All right. So all right. Give me two
Wrong
seconds from
sentence,
each of
maybe.
you. I need to take the time.
I would say my one-liner is just going to be all around dominant team basketball.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's their defense. They couldn't get anything going. And then, I mean, they're historically not a great 3-point team, but they were pitiful.
Yeah.
Just defense.
Jackson.
I'm saying whittling down the roster to 10 people.
I think
They're
we're going
all-
to get into that just a little bit later, Jackson. I want to talk Shake Milton and,
Yeah,
and
so do
how
I.
his minutes are probably going to get distributed
So
because I don't know
let's
if
do
he's
that.
cutting it.
Let's do that. Let's shake it up. Let's go to game 3. Okay. I'll let you guys start. What's your this isn't one-liner, but what's the story of this game and
Dude,
how it might be a little bit different from game 2, but still a dominant win?
reigning 3-pointers, dude. We were
Storm came
raining
in.
3-pointers, dude. It was so amazing
Gotta
to
love
watch
it.
that.
Yeah.
Dude, we were
We
just
started early
dropping
and
them from
didn't stop.
everywhere. I feel like everybody, like I think everybody on the team had a 3-pointer. It felt like it was awesome,
Embiid 66.7 from the field. What the hell?
dude. He was unstoppable. Like, it was so fun to watch that game. Just pure domination. Like, it just looked like they
Um,
didn't even belong on the same court.
yeah.
I think
I-
I think this
yeah.
was the game that people who like me thought that the Wizards were going to squeak one out. This was the most likely game for that to happen,
Yeah.
and they just absolutely denied them any opportunity. I have a feeling that there was just as many Sixers fans there as Wizards fans.
Well, also the problem is Embiid feeds off the boos. He likes to hear the boos. He wants
Dude.
them to boo harder.
Yeah,
he-
he was
clarify-
he was telling them to bring it on after he got that
Dude.
that one layup.
when
Hype him up.
he missed the dunk, dude, and then he was like, "All right, give me another try. I'm gonna do it again." And he just goes up and dunks
Oh,
the
and
second
went
time,
right,
dude.
right back at it.
The
That
same
was so
guy
fun.
too, dude. Oh my god.
Let's
I mean,
clarify.
realistically-
BOOS, not booze like Jackson's feeding off of right now. But
Yeah,
Yeah.
two-handed.
Jackson's 11:51 a.m.
I mean, yeah,
Here.
realistically, no one on the
Gotta have a beer
Wizards,
with
and we've
pot.
known this, but there's no one on the Wizards who can stop Embiid. I mean, Robin
It's just not possible.
Lopez, he's the only one who can even match up with him size-wise.
He gets no
and he's
minutes
just
and he
he's
has
not
no
quick
offensive
enough.
play.
He doesn't get any minutes. Alex Len isn't strong enough. Gafford is just a twig compared to Embiid. There's no way any of these guys are stopping him.
I don't think it's-
Yeah, but I'm actually surprised by the schemes from the Wizards where they're not giving Gafford that much time because I feel like he's been the best big guy playing for them right now compared to the other two.
I don't know much about him. I feel like he's a little on the younger side. So
I think
that
he came
might
from the
be-
Bulls. I think he's on the younger side. I have to look into his backstory, but I'm surprised it doesn't seem like they're changing anything up with the starters. Len and Hachimura are getting in there as their starters, but there's nobody stopping
It just
what
seems
is
like
Joel Embiid.
it
Yeah,
just
no
seems
matter
like
how many
Scott
people they
Brooks is
throw
like-
at him too, they could throw
Well,
2 or
okay.
3. You know.
And that's when the shooters hit. I mean, that's
Yeah.
where Danny Green
That's
said
what, yeah.
they all just drop them.
That's what I was
And
Don't
gonna
it's
you
say.
guys
just so easy.
Don't you guys agree though? It just feels like Scott Brooks is just like, this is the team. Just throw it at it. No changes. We don't need to make any changes. Whatever.
Kind of,
happens,
Maybe-
happens.
kind of
It's
giving
sort of
a Brett
acceptance.
Brown,
Like, whatever.
white flag playoff
Approach.
coaching
He's
performance.
just running into the brick wall over and over
Not
again.
I mean, dude,
Not a yeah.
that's I keep saying it. It's just like the Wizards are just not on our level, dude. Like it's not
I
like
mean,
a fair
Kind of
matchup.
This was the first game that Russ even scored over 20 because I mean Ben was holding him. You know, Ben and Matisse were holding him to 16 and 10
16,
the first 2
14,
games.
16.
Yeah.
Yep.
He I mean, he's doing pretty good, but he actually did better than I expected him to do because he was coming off that injury or whatever. Not injury, but he got hurt in the second game.
That's one thing that was really good to see. Seth and Toby starting, especially coming off the ankle injuries from game 2.
Oh yeah, true.
Doesn't
Yeah.
look like it affected them at all. So I mean, let's
Dude.
keep it that way.
I want to say
We
something
need
about
Seth.
yeah. I want
As soon as that happened in game 2, I know everyone in Philadelphia just breathed a collective fuck.
How about
Yeah.
after game 1 being so close, game 2 and game 3 starters are out by the fourth quarter, both games.
Yeah.
Both games. I
Love
mean,
to
it's a good
see it.
sign. Brits, what do you want to say about game 2?
Oh no, it was about game 3. I was just talking about Joel.
Game 3. Yeah.
Dude, like you guys saying, like nobody can stop him. Nobody on this team, and I don't think honestly anybody can stop him in the NBA. Honestly,
Oh,
like, is-
definitely, I
That's
agree.
better.
Yeah,
like it's like if Joel does get like double covered, triple covered, whatever. If Danny Green and Seth Curry play like that throughout the playoffs, like they just did, and hit those
Yeah.
threes like they did, I don't see how we lose to anybody. Honestly.
Well, and Jackson, what did you say about the Nets?
Yeah.
Nets don't have anybody that can take Embiid.
Oh
I don't
yeah,
think-
think- no,
I thought
no.
you said
I
that
don't
the
think
Nets
Griffin can.
could. No, yeah, I don't think anyone
No.
on the Nets plays defense at all.
I would agree.
Dude, like that's what I'm saying, dude. If we can rain threes from the outside like that, like with Seth and Toby and Danny Green and some of the bench guys, like I don't know how we lose.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I think my only notes for game 3, and Brits texted it in the chat, was thunderstorms. Like when it rains, it pours, and like Seth just wasn't stopping. We were concerned about his injury coming from the game 2, but he stepped up, and I think that's what we're looking from game 1 is just, and I really think it was just kind of a little rustiness that we were just trying to dust off coming up from not playing for about a week, but with that said, I mean, everybody stepped up. Seth, Green, Toby just continuing to do what he does, 20 points, coming out of this one. But yeah, this was the game where all the starters had at least double digits, and at least at a minimum 15 points. So you can't ask for much more to just let your bench kind of grow, develop, and get some playoff time at the end of these games.
Another dominant Ben Simmons performance too. He didn't score as much as game 2, but just being pretty much ever present whenever he's on the court on both sides of the ball. He's involved in the play in some aspect.
And this is another game where the media is gonna, and I haven't listened to much of the media this weekend or after the game, but it's gonna be the game where they come out and say, Ben, why couldn't you be like the other guys and score 20 or 36 or all these guys are. I think they are. They're gonna find something, dude.
That's
they
because
always
Caputi
find something.
listens to the official Ben Simmons hate radio.
That's
from
what it seems
Philadelphia.
like.
Well,
I'm not hearing the hate.
to it too. And don't leave me hanging here, Brits. You hear the same things.
No, I do.
I'm not going to mention names, but they're going to come out and they're going to say it no matter what.
Boomer media, dude.
Right.
A bunch of boomer media.
That's the thing. That's the only thing we have to listen to.
Don't come out me. I'm defending Ben. We
No,
got to listen to our
I'm
sports
talking about the people who are going to be on the boomer media complaining.
Can't they just enjoy the basketball?
A win.
We've got like the best team we've had in 30 years.
This momentum that we have.
They enjoy being
I just don't know
miserable,
why.
dude. They're
We're trying to rid the culture of Negadelphia here.
They look at it
this
as
podcast.
They look at it as like, Ben Simmons is scoring 14 points against a bad team, and like he needs to do more against the better teams.
So real quick,
they got to look at it as he runs our team, and our team's running through this team.
Yeah,
I know.
We're about to 4-0 them.
It's pretty sad. So let me ask Brits this, since he listens to the same stuff I listen to. When you saw Ben Simmons 14 points, were you not kind of thinking the same thing? That
What?
they're going to come out and say, and that the media is probably going to come out and say something about the 14-point stat line?
They probably will. I mean, they're going to mention it. I'm not sure what they're going to say exactly because, it was such a dominant game. Like,
he wasn't even playing 4 quarters. He only played 3
Yeah,
quarters.
right.
Yeah, I know. And he did the same thing in game 2. He had 22 points in 3 quarters, which is really good.
That would have been a 20-point game.
Well, the only reason why I say that is because they were complaining after game 2. So of course they're going to complain after game 3.
Yeah, I just
idiots.
But yeah, let's not bring out any negative vibes. Let's get to some of the grades, and I'll let Flake say it.
Yeah, this is the class of AP hoops, dude. A pluses across the board.
Oh yeah.
If they had to take their AP test, the starting 5 would all get a 5 on the AP test. So who's popping off? The entire team is popping off, and it's our bench too. I mean, it's Thibault, it's Maxey getting time. I think he's getting the time that I think Shake is no longer getting. So that's an interesting development. I think in this series.
A quick comment on that.
Talk more on that.
Yeah, I think that the plan for Doc was kind of going into game 1. It was kind of just seeing who was going to be hot, and I think that was pretty evident. And I think being still playing the Wizards, we're kind of in a position right now where we're allowed to play everyone and still allow people to get hot for the later rounds. But I mean, I don't think anyone, Doc included, or anyone on the Sixers expected Maxey to come in and have the impact that he's had. And I think that he's earned the minutes that he's getting now, and I think we're going to start seeing him siphon some of those minutes away from Shake Milton.
Well, I think we've kind of figured out our 5. We were saying there's going to probably be 5. First game we had 11. We ran 11 deep, but I think Shake's off the 10.
He might be one of those guys who only comes in late fourth quarter when we're
probably
bringing in Paul Reed, and he's joining the Paul Reed and Isaiah
George
Joe
Hill
club.
Korkmaz wasn't looking good after game 1. He's in though, and then you got Thibault and Matisse.
Well, that's what I was telling. That's what I was telling Caputi. Is I feel like everything that Shake Milton offers, there's a player who does an aspect of it better.
Yeah.
Like if you need someone who's a better ball handler and can get to the bucket, that's
George Hill.
That's Maxey or Hill, But if you need someone who's a spot up shooter, I'm still probably taking Furk over Shake. I think Shake can shoot the 3, but I think Furk is going to be more consistent over the long run.
Yeah, because I think Cork is specialized for that shooting, whereas Shake is kind of on and off with that. I think you guys said it perfectly right as far as other guys excelling more in those different aspects of what Shake's game is.
You need somebody to play center. You're not going to Shake. You're going to Dwight Howard.
Or Mike Scott.
Get some technicals. You don't need Shake to go in there and do that.
Exactly.
Bring on.
An interesting thing they were saying about Maxey was I was hearing it. I think it was in the pregame. I think it was the pregame. They were saying like he's not getting out there as much because of or he wasn't getting out there as much because he's how like young he is, and he didn't want Doc didn't want him to make a bad mistake in the game that cost him. I'm like, dude, he's been playing only when we're up 20. Like, who cares if he makes a bad mistake? Just get him out there.
Yeah,
Like,
that's a weird narrative, especially like
yeah.
I mean like you don't want anyone to. That's never the mindset of a coach. I feel like is like
Well, I
you
mean,
don't
even
want them
He's also
to
older
like
than Maxey.
make a mistake, right? Like it's like if they're going to make a mistake, that's part of the aspect of it. Let's see how he recovers. But so far, he's just been confident and attacking
Yeah.
the rim and just playing good basketball.
But even if that is what like Doc
Yeah,
is thinking,
but-
like, who cares? He's only playing when we're up 20. Who cares if he makes a mistake?
One,
Yeah.
who cares, because I think you're right. That's when he's coming in the game. Two, it's basketball. It's a little bit different from football. If you make a mistake in football, it could be an interception that turns into a touchdown. If you make a mistake in basketball, it could be a turnover when we're up 20 points.
Exactly.
And it's just 2 more points for the
Yeah,
Wizards.
luckily
So
we're
it's
not in
not a big
positions
deal.
where late games are important enough for us to care about
Yeah,
having
right
our
now.
starters in. So when we're in those spots, it's not going to be Maxey. It'll be Toby and Ben. So
So correct me if I'm wrong. I think in game 3, Maxey may have come in the second quarter for the first time. Anybody can fact
He
check me
did.
on that?
I think it was the end of the first, actually.
Okay, end of the first, so even earlier than I had thought. So
Wasn't it? We had Thibault out there, I think, too. The end of the first, we were resting guys.
yeah, I think so too. So now that we bring that up, I just want to mention and kind of like you appreciate Maxey's maturity. I think for again, just remembering that he is a rookie coming in. Probably should have been more of the top 10 pick as opposed to late 20 pick. But just his level of maturity, being able to step up and just continue to do what he's doing from the season into the playoffs, just getting that experience. I think that's what Doc wants from him in these earlier rounds when we can blow out these teams. I think his level of maturity, just coming in and being able to take the pressure. And I know there's not a lot of pressure because we're facing the Wizards. Let's be honest, we're taking it to game 4. I think closing this out, but I think him just being able to step it up and kind of take that spot, even over Shake, who's had the experience, says a lot about him.
I mean, yeah, he looks
promising,
like
man.
I was just gonna say that he looks promising for the future. Like it's nice to see.
It's so nice to have pieces like Maxey, Thibault, and Korkmaz.
I mean, yeah, you think in a not too distant future, it's going to be Ben, Joel, Toby, Thibault, and Maxey lining up in the starting 5.
Probably.
And that's going to be a dangerous
Exciting
lineup.
to see a dangerous future. I agree.
We just need
Or
Thibault
maybe
to learn
like
how to shoot.
maybe have Matisse as the
Well,
sixth
yeah,
man
I
and
mean,
put
Matisse
Korkmaz
and Maxey
starting.
got to switch notes a little bit, which I think Jackson said they were already doing.
I think in the future, Matisse is going to be starting 2, Korkmaz starting 3, and then Maxey coming off the bench 6 man of the year.
You think Cork's going to get the starts over Maxey? I think Maxey might.
I think Maxey's not big enough to play 3 or 2.
No, I think you can play 2. I think especially if you have a guy who's so oversized like Ben, you kind of get to play positionless basketball with Ben.
And I think we talked about this before, either with Flay or Britt. I forget who it was, but if Maxey's being a part of that starting lineup, because we're talking about replacements for Seth and Danny Green, right? We know the other
3-point percentage.
Assuming the other 3 are going to be here. What do you do with Ben kind of playing that guard spot, that point guard spot? Does not Matisse, sorry, Maxey, does he replace that? And I think it looks different depending upon the situation. Like I think I want Ben kind of being the transition guy, especially if we're taking it from the half court. I think Maxey might be, full court.
I mean, Maxey is a good
I think
player. He's nowhere in the same league as Ben. Ben's going to be the point guard.
I think you got it backwards, and I think it was us who was talking about it, Caputi. But yeah, I think in this future that we're talking about, and I don't want to get too much of like a future podcast where we're just talking about what we think. But
it's as clear as mud right now.
Yeah, but I think in the future it's going to be Simmons will be a better transitional guy, and then I think what you'll see is when we need someone who can make a bucket for themselves, you're going to get the ball at Maxey's hands.
Maxey's going to create a shot. I just really think
he can shoot off the catch too. Like he's got to improve on his threes, but he's got the ability. So it's just a matter of time.
He's still better than Ben.
The way it works is like the way I think like with our team with Ben, I just feel like Ben gets the ball and he kind of immediately dishes it to somebody. Like so it's like not like he's like holding on to it for a long period of time. Like and it matters too much about who like actually carries it up because he's usually just dishing it right away.
So that's what I'm trying to say is like I feel like Maxey can be that better setup guy if we're like trying to run a play, as far as getting the ball down the court and just posting up with a shot. I think Ben, coming down the court as a fullback, trying to ram somebody over into the net. I think that's kind of the difference of these two guys, and I think you just want to play to those strengths. But
He
yeah,
doesn't
I
really
don't.
do that much though. Like Ben, like
If he's taking the ball up and with a steal and trying
oh
to
well, yeah,
drive it
no,
down.
yeah. Like if we have numbers or something, yeah, like.
I feel like
Yeah.
he is usually like a quick pass, like Brits is saying.
Yeah, I mean, like Ben usually, I feel like when he does like get aggressive, it's somebody gives it to him in the like when he's already in the paint, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
And
that's
I just want to say, like, the way that we're talking about this, I really think we have to think about like the way the team plays. That's like Ben gets the ball, he dishes it a lot of times to the 3-point line.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you want to have a lineup of Maxi and Thibault out there right now because they can't really shoot the threes.
Yeah.
Like in the
Well,
future, maybe
again,
they can, but like I think
we're not talking
Cortez,
about right now. This is
somebody
kind of
else
like
who
us,
can shoot
like
the 3 would probably be better for the starting lineup.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
we're talking about 2 years down the line. This is
And more to come on that. So let's get to what we were originally trying to do on this topic, was just give these guys grades. So you got the starting lineup right here in front of you.
I mean,
Let's go around the room. Let's start with Brits. What do you got on that? And I'll kind of wrap it up with my grades at the end.
I'll be real quick here. I mean, like if you were to look at all 3 games as a total, I mean, it's probably just A pluses all around, dude. I mean, I guess maybe you can like knock Ben a little bit for game 1.
Brits is reading the news ticker.
Pretty much just. I don't know. I mean, how do you give him anything but an A? All 5 of these guys.
That's the news ticker literally goes across. How could you not give A's across the board?
Oh, I actually didn't even read that either. Wow.
yeah.
But yeah, like
I
guess,
think it's pretty consensus for all of us, right? That
what
it's
did Ben go from the free throw line yesterday?
I think he missed at least the first 3 that I saw.
I know he missed the first one he got, or the first 2. I don't know what he did after that.
Well, we all know what he did in game 1.
I
But
think-
can't say what he did.
I think we could say maybe Curry could have been more consistent from 3 this series. Maybe you could give him
Really?
a B.
He
Definitely game 2,
Really?
I could see
Yeah.
that. Game and early in game 1, but
I mean,
yeah,
so far
game
Curry's
3, I have
going
no complaints.
3 for 9, 1 for 4, and 3 for 6. So like he's doing decent, but Danny Green's doing bad. I'd give Danny Green an A, and Curry maybe like a B plus.
Okay. Can we all say that B plus is probably the minimum grade we would give?
Yeah.
these
Yeah,
guys?
I don't think. I think if you want to get into the bench, I think the only person you could give like some C's out. If you want to pass out
Yeah,
some
definitely.
C's, it's like Shake needs to definitely step it up, or he's not going to see many minutes next round.
Yeah, if we're looking at the bench, it's a different story. Let's be honest there. I would agree.
He's
I
the
would
only
say-
person I can actually think of who get to see this series. Everyone else.
I'm not
is
trying
beaten
to
up.
I'm not trying to hate on Curry by giving him a B plus. I just think he can play better. And then what grade do I give him if he does that?
yeah.
Right, then you can only give him an A plus or
Yeah,
or-
that's a good take, Jackson.
So it maybe Ben B plus just because of the foul shooting. Maybe not for this series specifically because it's been such a dominant win. But let's think about these guys and their grades. Do they need to do things better, or what do they need to change when we do face a team like the Bucks or the Nets that's going to come down to the wire, and we need a Ben to hit those foul shots in order to win by 3 points or something like that? What do some of these guys with A pluses need to do better in order to beat these teams?
I think we do have to just keep playing the same way. I think we're playing really well right now. I think if we just keep playing like this, we're gonna have a lot of success.
Yeah.
I think that Ben, maybe could hit a couple more free throws, but like that's just nitpicking. I think hopefully it won't come down to that. If we score this much and our defense plays this well, I don't know if it's gonna come down to free throws.
It is.
Yeah.
It is nitpicking, but at the same time, maybe not next series, but against the Nets, it might come down to free throws. And if
How could it not?
if he's not hitting at least like 60% of those, like we're not gonna be able to give him the ball in crunch time.
Brits, kick those worries down the road, dude. Let's enjoy this ride.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what we're talking about.
I
here, though.
mean,
That's
it's
what
things
do we got?
we
do
got to
better?
think about it. We got to think about it. Yeah, I mean, you guys were the ones who agreed. We can look past this series, and I think I'm not even worried about round 2. Don't count out any team at this point. It's NBA playoffs, but
You gotta be a little worried, but like we should feel comfortable.
I feel comfortable after watching.
They're
this
also
series.
probably going to go to like they might
But yeah,
go to
able to
7.
it's still a toss up on who's going to take that series. They play their game
that's a big
4
toss-up.
tonight.
I'd much rather play
Today.
Hawks or Knicks than Bucks or
Well, yes, we're gonna play one of the
That's just why
Hawks
we're
or
thinking about
Knicks,
all this
right?
stuff.
Nets.
Yeah,
We wouldn't play the Nets or the Bucks until the conference finals, no matter what.
That's not what I'm saying. I said
Yeah.
I feel more comfortable because we're playing the Knicks or the Hawks as opposed to the Bucks or the Nets.
Well, yes, but that's kind of been like the whole storyline of this playoffs ever since the seeding was set. Is that like the Eastern Conference Finals are probably going to be like when stuff really pops off.
Yeah, for
Right.
us.
Right. Okay, so let's give quick bench grades before we talk much more about the
Nah,
next
dude,
round
screw
of
that.
the
Yeah,
playoffs.
screw the bench, dude.
Skip the bench.
Screw the
it's
bench?
It's a collective. Shake
A
gets a C,
collective?
and everyone else is a
Can't
B
be a
or
collective.
higher.
Okay. Well, maybe can we talk about at
White's
least
like a B,
Howard?
you know.
Is Howard? I feel like he's the only one that maybe like I expected a little bit more from, but I guess he did his job, kind of thing.
I'm
I
ex-
just
Dude,
like the guy
anytime
either way.
Dwight
I
doesn't
can't
foul
really.
out of the game, he did his job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He hasn't fouled
Are you
out.
sure? I feel like that
Especially-
is his job.
That's all we need.
especially on a vet min
All right,
and the
all right.
Wells Fargo Center being full. Dwight's main job is just to hype everyone up for the
I'm getting
Frosties.
shut down, Pod fam. So
The
let's
fact
move.
that in game
Let's move
2,
on.
I just want to say the fact that in game 2, our bench was like outscoring the Wizards starters, basically.
Yeah, I mean,
I think we just gotta be like
It's
give them
pretty
a round of applause.
Embarrassing on their
Yeah.
part. All right, there's only one team, as you can see, on the next round that have moved forward. Which I don't know how the scheduling worked, where it's like the Bucks and Heat played more games than us already.
it's because we had to wait for the playing games.
Okay, thank you for the
Yeah.
clarification, Chris.
I was thinking about this yesterday.
So Bucks are already there. No team is in that next bracket yet, but the Sixers will be. Let's be honest with ourselves.
And I don't think
team
I
in
don't think
playoff
any
history
team
has ever come back from 3-0 in a series. So
I don't think any of the games on the East can be set today. I think all these series or both the other series are 2-1 right now.
Yeah, Knicks are 2-1, or
what about
they're
the
down
Nets
2-1.
Celtics?
The Nets lost to the Celtics in Game 3.
I think
Yeah.
the Nets will win the
So-
series, but
I
I think that means the Nets are not invincible.
What we thought.
No,
they
exactly.
were.
Yeah. Well, that was the thing. That was definitely the showing of the Nets just not having any defense. And if you can just outscore their high-powered offense, or you can play defense and limit a little bit of their offense, and then keep up with the scoring, that's where we win.
And I think Embiid could go off
And
for
we
50
can-
against
we
them.
can- We can
There's
do that.
well, yeah. I mean, who on the Nets is gonna stop Embiid? Blake Griffin? Nah, dude, get out of here.
Come on.
Nobody.
DeAndre Jordan? Nah, dude.
Blake Griffin, soon to be has been.
Dude, I just if we're talking about like these like Nets again, like I said, if we are shooting like that with those percentages or even close to those percentages, we're gonna win.
I feel like
Like-
they have comparable defenses.
Who?
The Nets and the Wizards, they're just not good.
Oh,
You know?
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
I mean-
yeah, okay.
I was scared that you were comparing them to the Sixers, but yes, I would.
Well, I
would
mean,
agree.
they're a little bit better than the Wizards.
Yeah, but still.
Because if they want
Just
to,
by
like,
just by virtue of having like superstars.
yeah, it's like
superstar
because if they want to, they can defend pretty well. It's just like that they're not really that kind of team.
Makes sense.
Okay, so anything that you guys worry about, anything that you want to talk about next round prediction wise, we're thrusting the process to the very next round,
The only
as Joel liked to show us in these past
That was
games.
so
But
funny.
Do you guys think it could be
Um,
Bucks over Nets next round?
I think that's the biggest talking
Dude,
point, right? How else can we?
I
What
think
else is
that-
there to talk about?
I think my personal opinion is I care less about who comes out of it. I just want to see both those teams really go at each other and kind of wear each
It's gonna
other
be a
down.
good series.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was actually about to get
It's going to
into.
be a good series either
Because
way.
it's going to be tough for us no matter who we play. The Bucks always give us trouble, especially like Brook Lopez. Like we for some reason can't shut him down for some reason because he plays for the three.
Lopez is a beast.
He plays at the 3-point line. It drags Embiid out, and then it kind of gives Giannis a lot more room to operate. They got Middleton who can shoot. I mean, and the other guy got
Drew
Conley
Holiday.
or whatever. Yeah, Drew Holiday's been playing real nice.
It's kind of how
They're a
Embiid
dangerous
plays.
team too.
It's kind of how Embiid
Yeah,
plays in a way,
Forbes or
'cause
whatever.
Sometimes,
Yeah, but Brook Lopez is like a spot on 3-point shooter.
Yeah.
That dude hits, and he hits from like Dame Lillard
His
distance.
territory. Yeah, it's scary. I feel like the Bucks are almost in more comparison to the Sixers, where it's like it's a good team, built with the players it has, versus the Nets just kind of like let's just throw a
Noshing
bunch of superstars
superstars,
together
yeah.
and see what comes out. Is like this
Exactly.
Frankenstein monster of like making it at least to the later rounds of the playoffs, but that's about it.
I
We'll
think
see.
feel like-
scare me.
We'll see
Like,
what they are.
I'd
We'll
almost
see what
rather
they
play
are.
the Bucks than the Nets. I mean,
I
the
feel
Nets
like
than
we
the
should
Bucks.
actually maybe we can look
The
into
opposite.
this off the pod and visit this next time. But we should look into the rate of super teams winning championships, of, like teams that have like big threes and how often they win.
Well, let's look at the past 10 years and kind of decipher that. I mean, with
Yeah,
Well,
the Heat, the Celtics, the Warriors.
yeah.
So-
I mean, I feel like the super teams that win are the teams that stick together for a while. Like, they get a couple of years under their belt and then they start winning.
Yeah.
that's what was special about
Unless
like
you're
Golden
LeBron.
State is like they
Yeah.
they kept that team together for a long time.
Yeah, them and
And
then
they still have the core pieces.
the only team that's actually weird. This is actually kind of interesting. The only team I could think of that was together for quite a while or a couple of years that didn't win, that was considered a super team, was OKC, and that was
Harden,
Harden
Russ,
and
but-
that was
and,
Harden and
KD.
Durant. So same kind of
You had
situation.
all,
just
you had all
mix in-
three of them at one point in OKC, which is
Well,
kind
they
of
were only
crazy to
together
think
for
about.
like 1
For,
year
like,
in the
a
finals.
year.
Yeah,
A
because
year.
Oh,
because
was it
got
only 1
traded.
year?
Harden
Where
won
all
like
three of
sixth
them-
man of the year or something, or
Yeah, and
most
then he got
improved,
traded next
and then,
year.
Yeah, got moved.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought it was more
so-
than that. Maybe, I guess not.
Yeah, well, it wasn't long, but you had Russ and Durant there. Which is what we're seeing in Russ now. Like, he's not a winner. Do we know if Harden's a winner in the playoffs? Like, I don't know if we'll.
Yes,
I think-
absolutely.
Yeah,
I don't know
mean,
why I
Harden's
never
a
got this
stone cold
vibe
killer.
before, but for some
No,
reason
no,
when I was
but
watching
yeah,
Russ last night,
he's a killer. But is he a playoff
only-
winner?
the
He is
only-
Yeah,
in
he
that-
almost took down the Warriors team
I was just gonna say
like
that.
multiple times.
The only reason why he does not go to the finals is
no
because he
help.
had to go through the best team ever. Maybe like
He had like no help, and he almost took down the Warriors by himself.
Well, do what you
That's
gotta
the guy
do, I
I'm
guess.
scared of in the
Well,
playoffs.
Yeah.
who
He's
Damian
better than-
Lillard?
No,
No,
Are you
I
talking
think
Harden?
Harden's better than
Harden?
Durant, dude.
I think at this point he might.
I don't
know.
know. That's a tough call
It's
on that
close.
one.
I think well, it depends. I mean,
Harden was having more success than Durant when Durant was on OKC, wasn't he?
Nah, dude, Durant was
I don't know.
the
I mean, Harden was
like,
on fire. He was
Durant
like,
was Durant was the
They're both
clear number
amazing.
one on that team. Yeah, on the OKC team.
They're both amazing. I mean, there's not like you're like splitting
Well-
hairs here, like with two amazing
Yeah,
players.
we are. We're going back and forth on all of nothing.
This is why our
well,
podcasts
we
are
just-
an hour and 50 minutes.
We just have to wait and see. This is why we need to cut them shorter. So you watch.
No, I
listen a little bit.
actually want to go back to what Jackson said. I actually kind of agree with. I don't know if I agree, but like it's close. I don't know who I'd rather play. With the
obviously, yeah, I think it's the Nets, but like, the Bucks have like, I think they're just way better defensively, which is gonna give us a harder series.
Well, let's just look at the regular season. I know we didn't play all three superstars at a time in the regular season, but we beat the Nets all three times, and I think we lost all three times to the Bucks when we played them in the regular season. So I mean, that's to stand for something, right?
I think a
As
lot of
far as-
times we didn't play the Bucks like with full strength though.
Yeah. Well, and again, a lot of it is, I mean, at this point, when we're talking about a bunch of teams who each have like three really good superstars, or at least two for the Bucks, probably. Who would you say is there three? I guess Giannis, Middleton, and Holiday.
And
Yeah, but Brooke Lopez is also like, I think they have like a
Lopez.
4.
Yeah, he's
Benefit from
kind of
that.
like he's like almost like our Danny Green
Yeah, I
and
was
Steph
gonna
Curry
say
put
that.
together into one super
He's good, man.
super guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
just a massive 3-point shooter.
I think
Yeah,
I
you
actually
kinda
would.
lean on him
I think
no
I
matter what.
actually want the Nets.
I don't want either. I think both's gonna be a tough series.
I'm gonna- I'm
we
gonna-
gotta pick
oh,
one.
I'm gonna enjoy the series no matter what. I still stand by. I don't care who we play as long as the series
think-
before they really go at each other and wear each other out.
I
it's
mean,
hard
even
to
like
tell.
Bobby Portis off the bench, like he's a beast. PJ
Because
Tucker,
I still
Forbes,
think no
dude,
matter who we
Forbes-
play,
Forbes' 3-point percentage is like ridiculous this playoffs.
what I'll say is I think no matter who we play, whether it's the Knicks or the Hawks, there is still a good chance that we either sweep or win in 5. I don't see it going any more than 5 games. Whereas I see a series like Nets Bucks going 7 games.
Yeah. I'd be
I
surprised if
think-
that game is less than 6 games. Or that
I
series.
think the series
That would
will
be
tell.
crazy. I would be
think
kind of
only-
scared if it went less than 6 games.
That means someone's
Yeah.
doing good. Someone's on
Yeah,
fire.
That's a team we won't want to.
I'm scared it will be the Bucks in like 5 or 6
if that were
games,
to
and then we're
happen,
just like,
my
fuck.
guess, if that were to happen, my guess would be the Bucks like going in 5, doing
I
it in
think-
5. 4-1. Yeah, yeah, that would be my guess.
If someone was
What
doing
else-
5, I thought it would be the Nets. I thought that just
I
like,
don't think so.
blow them out of the water with like
I-
130 points a game.
I think the
Because they're
Bucks
not doing
have
that against
an
the-
advantage
against the
because they
Celtics.
scheme better
True.
against teams, whereas the Nets kind of just let their guys do their thing. The Bucks really like scheme very well against the teams that they're playing.
Have
Yeah,
some
I
game
think they're
plan
well
in there.
coached for sure.
So yeah, like I said,
The
I
thing
think
is, the thing is,
splitting
the Bucks
hairs.
are like 8 deep, and the Nets are like 3 or 4 deep. You know,
Time will tell at the end of the day. I think the series will
Maybe
tell
5
who
or
the
6.
winner is, who the better team is, and then we'll just have to worry about it when we get to that point. But let's turn the page on that one. A lot of good Sixers and basketball talk from you guys today. But let's turn to the Eagles. Take a look at this page, guys, and just absorb. Don't cut me off. I know you want to. You want to try to jump at the screen, and
I'm trying to
gotta
figure out this
disagree with
formatting, dude.
well, it's purposely unorganized, chaotic. All right, that's what I was going for.
It's avant-garde.
Yeah, a little off the plan today,
Oh
but
my god.
but there's a little funny thing in here if you find it too. But these are all different things, all different gradings by and rankings by these different companies or different sports reporting organizations. But either way, in conclusion of all of it, we're at the bottom of the tier. We're bottom ranks. They're putting us at 31st, 32nd, 30th, ranking us right above the Texans and basically right behind teams like I don't know. I don't even know. I don't even know who you can rank us at the bottom of the barrel with. But
Probably the Giants, Jets.
no, but I think a lot of they've even been ranked, middle tier, middle of the pack. So I'm just disturbed by this big picture of just putting us at the bottom. Just from what we're seeing, I think we're closer to what the Eagles have been doing in this offseason, the players that they brought in. I think the main message that a lot of these different places are saying is just that, one, it's a rebuilding season with a rookie head coach, and we don't know what Jalen Hurts is. But I think we know a little bit more about that, especially in the past couple months from what we've seen, that they're at least going to be, if I were to guess, like the 20th range. I don't think we're way at the bottom. I think we can at least make the argument that we're 17th to 23 or something like that.
These
I think
rankings
that's a
make it
homer
seem
ranking,
like
dude.
I think
I
these
agree with
rankings.
these rankings.
I was
You
gonna
agree
say
with
I
these?
don't agree with these
For
rankings. But I
what
think
they
that
should rank us.
No, I think that these rankings basically mean that we're just going to get walked over, and I don't think that that's going to be the case this season. I think we're
I
going to be
agree.
competitive at the very least.
I agree, but everything we're ranking our team off of hasn't been seen yet. So like we can't. Somebody in the national media can't like legitimately be like they're going to be like the 15th best team based off of like the players like
Yeah,
coach.
a wild
Yeah, but
feeling.
you got to base it off the most accurate assumptions, and we know what those assumptions are. And so,
Well,
based on that, do you agree with their rankings, Jackson, or do you think?
No, I think we'll end
Where
up
would you
higher
put
than
us?
these rankings, but I
Yeah.
don't think it's crazy that they ranked us like this. I think like we do have
I agree with Jackson.
an aging offensive line. It is kind of a rebuild season. We do have a rookie head coach. We did pass on Fields, which was arguably stupid.
Oh, that's why he saw that one line, and then he started agreeing with these
Yeah, I mean
rankings.
Jalen Hurts could easily be a bad quarterback,
Well,
and we
that's
could have had like a franchise
Oh
quarterback.
my
in
God!
Fields.
No, hold
You're
on.
the guy saying 9-8, 10-7 this season.
Yeah, right.
So
Seriously,
yeah,
what is
like,
this
why are you going
contradiction,
back on
dude?
your word? I'm so like shocked with where you're coming
I
with
think
this.
No,
I
but
think we
Jackson's
could be
just right,
9-7.
though.
Passed on Fields.
I
Jackson's
just don't think that it makes any sense for somebody to rank us higher based off of what we're
exactly.
seeing yet.
You think we really think we rank with the Texans though, just at first glance?
Dude, we went
I think
we
based
won
off
4
of the
games
end of the
last year.
season, yes.
Yeah, we're going to win more this year.
I
because
know, I
our quarterback
way
is
more than
not
4
as
games.
bad as
We're
Wentz
an
was.
underdog, dude. We're supposed to be ranked low.
Yeah, like
You don't just rank an underdog like 15.
I'm not saying 15. I'm saying a little ahead based on what we've done. I mean,
Okay,
haven't done
you're,
anything.
you're
No,
saying
no,
you're
Oh
saying
my
We
like
have
God.
terrible
Caputi,
defense.
Oh my
Caputi,
God.
you gotta no. I think we're all just trying to do different things here. Caputi's trying to talk about like what we know and how we would rank it if we were in this position
Yeah,
versus what these guys are doing.
I understand. I'm
It's,
just
it's
saying
ridiculous. What are we
it's
doing
not
right now?
crazy that these people ranked us like this. But yes, I agree. I think we're gonna end up like 18 or 19 by the end of the season.
Okay.
well, the reason why we're ranked this low is because of the quarterback.
Yeah,
That's
We
why
have
we're
an
ranked so
unknown
low.
quarterback.
We have
didn't
literally
play
a
that
rookie
great in his
quarterback.
2 games.
I know we're ranked this low because of our quarterback performance last season. had
We have
us
a
play absolutely
And
terrible.
just
We'd
rookie
be ranked
quarterback.
higher if we had Carson.
We have
right
a
now.
rookie quarterback who did okay in
I
a
don't
few
think he
games
would.
last year.
100%.
Could have been replaced by Fields, and we have a bad defense. So like it makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
I think
yeah.
that I don't know. I think we're gonna be better than they say, but it doesn't. Sirianni, like they can't expect Sirianni to be a good head coach.
All that being said, I threw $10 on the Eagles to win the Super Bowl just as a throwaway.
just for you to get 200 back.
Yeah, it's
More than that?
$10 in, it's like 11 grand or 1100 out. So
Oh.
it was
And I
worth
just
it.
wanna say, all this being said, Eagles 17-0, baby.
Woo!
Oh my God.
Jackson
No.
is a
No, but
walking
Jackson's- you guys-
condescension.
You guys came at Jackson's throat, but he's right. I mean, there's no reason why they should be ranking us like anywhere
That's not
higher.
what we're, that's again.
If
That's
somebody
not
ranked
what we're
us 15,
saying.
they should be fired. Okay.
I think what
Straight
we're
up.
saying is where would we rank ourselves? Where would we rank ourselves?
I'm not saying that. My blood is boiling right now. We're not a 30th ranked team. Let's be honest. Don't put us in the organization of the Texans. They have no quarterback. He's about to not even. You got me blood boiling. I'm rolling now, boys.
Caputi's about to rip off
Oh my God. There's not
the
enough coffee
Sixers
in this
shirt
world.
for an Eagles shirt.
USA Today's got you pissed off.
Yeah, USA Today. That was the funny little blurb in here. Like,
I know.
why does USA Today have any say on on any sport ever?
I was gonna
get
say,
it.
why are they? Is that a real ranking? Did they?
That's a real ranking. That's a part of this list.
That's funny.
Oh, they're just. I'm just. It makes me mad, dude.
Dude,
I just think.
At least
I just-
NFL.com's got us at 25.
I think that's surprising that we're that high.
Oh my God.
I think that's about right, honestly. We might be
Yeah,
better.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say based on how we've been talking these last couple podcasts, we know that this team is better than people think that they are. You know.
Yes,
Yeah.
but I'm just saying,
That's
looking from an
we're-
outside perspective,
Yeah.
it's just too many leaps to make. Like to
People
be like,
aren't listening to this
Sirianni's gonna be
podcast from an
good.
outside perspective.
Hurts is going to
dude.
improve.
We want Homer.
Devontae Smith is going to come in and be a savage right away. The offensive line's not going to get hurt. The defense is going to somehow make stops, even though they have like a linebacker core made up of 5th round picks. It doesn't make sense for them to rank us that high.
You sound like Skip
Yeah.
Bayless.
Is that what? All right, we're turning to an episode of Undisputed now. This is how far we've come.
I'm out, dude. I'm out.
I told
I'm
you
outta here.
this podcast would need band-aids today. Then we all came in a little bit rough, and by me being rough, I didn't have notes. By
Jackson's actually spitting so many facts. You guys are just shutting them down. I don't get it.
I'm mad. I'm mad. We're all mad. I'm just mad. All right, next topic.
Next topic. Get out of here.
And the reason why I'm mad is all right. Before you guys say anything, look at these offensive stats on the ticker. Okay.
I just want to
think
say
this.
real quick.
I think this. No, Flay. Shush. Look at all the rankings. It's telling of the quarterback, but not of this offensive line and what we can do. We're like middle of the pack or the best in the running game, and we sucked because of Carson. Sorry, Brits. I'm going to say it. My blood is boiling.
I agree. I mean,
He
you're
sucked.
right.
I'm glad he's gone. This
Dude
is
would
what's
sit-
back. If they're healthy, which I think they can be, I'm ready for the season. 17-0, baby. Let's go.
Dude
I'm
would sit
done
there.
the podcast. I'm leaving.
Carson would sit there watching 3 linebackers come up, and instead of throwing the ball away, would just sit there and take a sack 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I feel like.
All right,
tell me what you got.
Going to
Not what I
be
wanted
the
to
line.
say.
I think they're going to be savages. I think they're going to be really good as long as they don't get hurt. I think that Sam Malu though is going to be replaced by Dickerson pretty quickly.
I just want the people watching to know that most of us, we don't look at these slides really before Caputi brings it up. We look at the side tickers from the first slide, but we don't go in and look at what all this stuff is. We're seeing this for the first time as well.
It's the element of surprise. I
Where
want to
did
see
you-
your reactions to a lot of this.
Wait, where did you come up with just putting the best period? Like we're not the best at anything right now.
Well, if you were listening
like-
to the radio, it was stemming from what Brandon Brooks
top
had
10.
said earlier this week, where he said, I came back from my Achilles and I was the best, period. So
Wow,
that's where it
I
came
did
from.
not know he said that.
He did say that. So he had a lot of confidence talking to the media this week.
I mean, he is a beast. So
We got solid
Some
depth.
say he's the best, period.
I don't think the line
In
is
top 5.
I don't think the
Top
line
5
is
period, maybe.
Well,
I'll say top 10. Period.
Yeah, I don't think Dillard's starting. Dickerson might come in and start,
I think Dillard might start the year, and then I think Mailata might
Think?
take
I
over
don't think so,
very,
man.
No way.
very early.
Mailata's
Mailata's
starting. He
the
proved it
starter.
last year.
Yeah.
For sure.
He was one of the bright spots.
I can't.
I feel like this organization. I feel like the way that Howie is in particular, that they like don't want Dillard to be a bust, so they like almost
Yeah,
force
I mean,
play him.
If Dillard's not a bust, that is like Howie being like, I suck at drafting. I turned an undrafted fucking rookie into a fucking superstar, dude, baby. He's gonna be on top of the world if Mailata pans out.
I think when Jackson gets stressed and like can't get his point across, he just slips a baby in there. Like, baby?
You gotta somehow make it seem like I'm smooth and cool, dude.
So keep working on it, dude.
No, Mailata is I think as of right now he's in training camp. He's or not training camp. What's it called?
He
OTAs.
wasn't even undrafted. He was drafted in the 7th round. I don't know what I'm talking about.
What else is new?
He's undrafted.
Mailata is the number 1 right now. It seems like at OTAs. So
Yeah, that's the word from.
But I
from
think
camp
I think
so far.
Flight is
As it
right
should
though.
be.
Dillard they don't want Dillard to be a bust. Like they're trying to make him win the job.
No, I think he's a great depth guy, and that's that's why the
Dillard's-
top.
Dillard's
Mailata
a
lined
replacement for Johnson when he leaves.
Next man up. That was
That's
the
I think.
that was the culture in 2017. Let's bring
Well,
that
that's the
back
thing
a
though.
little
He wasn't supposed to be a replacement. He's supposed to be a starter right away.
bit. Well, he was supposed to be the
Yeah, but
starter.
it's
Things change. You
pick up
gotta
the pieces and
you
move on,
gotta
dude.
adapt. You gotta adapt to what you got. So,
I just want to say, like coming off of last year when I think we had 14 different combinations of starting offensive lines. That
Yeah.
consistency is going to do us good this year if we can get it. I think that consistency alone could probably win you like an extra game or two. Last year just by having the same guys on the line every single game.
Yeah.
I think what's going on with the line is in a few years it's like we have a puzzle and we're like we put the puzzle pieces in, then we're like, wait, Dillard, that piece doesn't fit there, and then we're like, oh, Lane Johnson, that's an old broken piece, throw it away. Dillard fits right there, and we're set.
I think this podcast is a puzzle, and we only have edge pieces, and that's.
Nah, dude, we don't have edge.
Possibly true. It's a good analogy.
we got
have edge pieces.
we have a bunch
No
of pieces and
We gotta fill in the middle, dude.
we have a bunch of
gotta get-
pieces, all male ends, no female. We don't know what's we can't
All right,
click,
let's move
we
on.
can't click any we can't
Let's-
click anything into anything.
Let's move on. All right, there was a lot of talk. There was a lot of talk this week on Jalen Rieger, and whether he's eager to be the next slot guy. If he is definitely the slot guy or not. Talk about pieces. I think Sirianni's the word he's putting out there consistently is that we got guys moving around to play different things and have different roles as a part of this offense. So Rieger was talking a little bit about being the slot guy. I think this makes a lot of sense. I think he's your number 2 in your offense. I think he could still get 800 yards in the season, have Devontae Smith do most of the work on the outside. But Rieger at the slot, I think it fits. Maybe you need one more outside guy like a Julio Jones. Not going to happen, in my opinion. But to make this offense fully complete, I think that's all it would be. But I think Smith's getting that 1,000-yard season, like I said before, and I think you like what you see in a high-powered offense. I think you just need to fix up some defense, and hopefully Jalen plays out, and we're above that 30th rank that Jackson agrees with.
Okay, well, I've got a question to propose to you then. Would you prefer, obviously, Devontae Smith on the outside in this scenario, but then would you prefer Greg Ward in the slot and Rieger on the outside, or Rieger in the slot and Fulgham on the outside?
I take Fulgham at the outside based on his aggressiveness. I think that guy can still. I think he still has it. I mean, he did it. He put up huge numbers against a great Steelers defense last year. Almost 130 yards. So I mean, could be kind of like your leaner Alshon Jeffrey. I think who's a little bit faster.
Do you guys think that we're gonna play a lot more sets with 3 and 4 receivers, and even like the tight ends getting thrown in there? Or are we gonna try to just stick with like a 2-guy type of dynamic, really, or 2?
I'm interested you said that because I think Fulgham. I want him to play well. I think he has a chance of not even making the team.
I think you're right.
Honestly,
Oh man,
I still hear a lot of good things about the guy Trevin Grimes.
we gotta think. There's a
Yeah,
lot
guy-
of receivers on this team still, right? Quez Watkins, Trevin Grimes now coming into the mix.
I think Whiteside could make a comeback.
Watkins, who's still. Or
I
I
don't
said
know
Quez.
if
Done, dude.
Whiteside
Talk
or
about-
Hightower.
Ward.
Talk about pick
back.
up the pieces and move on, dude. Like, I mean, that guy is
What do you-
Find a
what do
new
you say?
career, maybe.
Arthur
What did you say?
Whiteside. JJ
Oh
Arthur
my-
Whiteside.
He makes good catches, man.
Wait, so actually,
What
so
catches?
so.
What catches? What
Did you
catches are
see
you
those
talking
college
about?
highlights? Did you see those college highlights? He was
Wait,
making
Brits, I
playmakers
thought-
all over the place.
Brits, I thought
Alright,
Jackson
now
was
he's
spitting off
memeing.
facts, dude.
He's
He
memeing.
just
He's
stopped.
memeing.
He's
He's
stopped.
memeing. Let him go.
I actually saw something on YouTube today from another Eagles poster about Arthega Whiteside potentially moving to tight end. So maybe he's pulling a Tebow.
Oh my god.
What the hell?
I don't know if I can actually believe that or
He,
not.
he has
Sorry.
picked up the pieces.
I
and
didn't.
moved
I
on to
didn't.
tight
I
end.
didn't watch the video, so I don't know what there is to be said to it. I just saw the headline.
How about he catches a ball? How about
I mean-
he does anything?
He
Jackson-
catches a lot of balls in practice, Caputi.
Dude, Jackson
I
just
didn't
said
like him.
Jackson just said he has some nice catches and he has like 11. Like,
Yeah.
They're all
total.
nice, though.
I think
They're
he
all
has
nice.
literally like less than 100
Doesn't mean they're not nice, Brits.
The only touchdown he got was a fucking fumble by Miles Sanders.
Again,
Yeah,
DK
reaction,
Metcalf
though.
has had more catches in one game than
That reaction.
Arcega Whiteside has had in his entire career. So let's just drop the J jaw and
Well,
maybe
What happens to Greg Ward then?
he could
Greg
still,
Ward, I think,
I think
stays.
he's still your old reliable Jason Avant, just catches the ball
I think
in
Greg
a
Ward
crossing
is
route,
solid,
and
number
that's your
3.
guy.
Number
He's
4?
definitely he's a solid number 3. Actually,
Solid 3. I think
yeah.
he's a solid 3. I agree with Flay.
I think he's more
Yeah,
reliable
but you guys are
than
putting him at
Fulgham.
4.
No, I am not. Deck loves Caputi. I think that Greg Ward
So if you're
would
looking-
actually stay in on the 3.
I agree.
If you're
I think
looking
it
at
should be Rager on the outside and then Ward on the slot, maybe.
I think you can honestly. You have the ability to switch them all around
Yeah.
a lot, which is very nice. And them being young, and I think again, one thing we forget is that Rieger had a lot of the focus on him last year when he was playing from some of the top, cornerbacks of the other teams. Alshon was out for most of the year. Deshaun barely played. So Rieger was basically our number 1. He is not going to have
Shouldn't
to.
have been.
Yeah,
I
he's
just-
not going to have to, show up with, the Jalen Ramseys of the league. Now he's playing against, the number 2s, which I think will be a little bit better
Yeah.
for him.
I just have felt that Greg Ward is really good with like a 10 and in, like a little crossing
Yeah,
route,
like a
something like
crossing
that.
route.
And that's like perfect for.
That's typical Greg Ward is like get at the ball,
That's-
get a
I think
couple
that's
yards
like what
after catch.
I think that's what a 3 spot looks like. I think if you're looking at the final possible lineup without knowing what Trevor Grimes is, I think you have Smith and Fulgham on the outside based on their strength and
It's
their
Trayvon.
whatever Trayvon. It makes at the end of the day, Smith with his route running and Fulgham with his aggressiveness and how he can catch the ball, and then Greg Ward come in across the middle along with Rager, who can run those quick jet sweeps, things like that, based on his short speed, not his burner type speed going down the field. And then I think as an extra guy coming in based on the play, I think it's Quez Watkins based on his speed going down the field, taking defenses off the top. So I think that's your 5. That's what I go with without knowing what the rest of the team looks
Well,
like.
Also, Quez Watkins has been training with Jalen Hurts down in Texas, while Arthega Whiteside hasn't.
So just insider takes. from Jackson.
I'm
Just talking
surprised
about
that JJ is still in the league after last
I
season
agree.
in particular. He's like
in the league.
It might
They
not
say-
be
gonna be
done
on this
this season.
team.
they say the average football
Ridiculous.
player is actually only in the league for like 3 or 4 years, and I'm surprised if he's gonna make it past this one.
JJ is like the new Donnell Pumphrey. He'll be in like arena football next year.
But Caputi, I think one thing that you
Doesn't cry.
said, one key word that you said that kind of sparked a thought in me is speed. Is that we're young and we're fast this year all across the offense.
Well, that's all.
Except for the O line, our receiving core, young fast guys. Hurts, young fast guy. We're still bringing in
We are
running
fast.
back.
You're right about that.
We got a lot of speed on this team, and I think that'll definitely play to our
Yeah.
advantage when it comes to the type of offense that we're gonna have to run.
What is this narrative that like Devontae Smith is like slow though? Everybody keeps saying like he's like not. He
Did
like
we
runs
say
like
that?
No, I've heard in the media a couple times like he runs like a 4.55 or something.
Well, no, dude. I think Devontae Smith is super fast. I think he didn't work out at the combine, so they were like trying to
yeah,
make a
I've
I've
narrative
heard that he's not that fast too.
I think
I
it's one of
thought
those.
I heard that he raced like one of the fastest people on the Bama team, and like was like right up there with him.
He-
I mean, that doesn't mean anything. He's like, you're just saying he raced somebody fast and won. He could still run a 4.55.
Yeah, I mean, Brits tried to run against all those kids on the track in
Oh
high
my
school,
God.
and then he just
Jackson almost ran into a
Oh,
hole in my backyard. Just-
and
died,
you
dude.
ran into Jackson's fence and broke it. So we all We've all ran before. That doesn't mean anything.
Well,
Still
no.
hasn't paid for
I
it.
think the reason people think he's faster than he is because like he's a yard after catch guy. I think he's just like hard to like keep like in front of you. So
I think
that's
he's
why-
agile
Yeah.
and definitely swifty. You know.
I think it's I think it's the quickness that you just can't. Like it's just I feel like it's just one of those things where you look at the time.
He's like
you
Justin
don't see
Jefferson.
somebody. You don't see a fast time,
I
but it's
fucking hope
speed,
so.
route running
well,
wise.
I
That's
mean,
you get that separation.
Well, it's like Antonio Brown's not that fast, right? He's just really good at route
Yeah,
running.
same thing
Yeah.
with Justin Jefferson. Maybe he's not as fast based on his 40.
High
but
maybe high agility, low
his agility is
top
what
speed.
gets them, some spacing from defenders.
Justin Jefferson ran a 4.5 or 4.5 something.
Same thing. It's the same
Yeah.
The
conversation.
agility is what matters most because if
Yeah.
you can get going fast and the other person can't, then you're immediately ahead of them.
Use the eye test more
Also,
than
well, and also with the way
time
we're going to
test.
use Smith, I believe, which is going to be a deep field threat a lot of the time. Like those first couple of steps are the most important. Is breaking away from
Yeah.
that cornerback.
Also, just route running. If you're a good route runner, then you're set. It seems like somebody like
Yeah.
Keenan Allen,
As long as Jalen Hurts is going to be able to find them, and I think he will. I think that having a guy who can run a
Well,
route like that will make it easy for Hurts
easy to find them
get
when they're
comfortable.
open, right?
The only
Yeah.
thing the only thing that's like worries me a little bit is that like yeah, if he is a good route runner, that's great. But like being small and then also not being that fast could be an issue.
like getting bumped to the line.
Well, yeah, that because like think about it, like all the guys that are usually like great route runners and they're not like really like speed guys are really big. Like To, like those kind of guys, like they're really big and tall and they're hard to they're hard to cover just because of their
Chad
sheer
Johnson.
size.
He
Hunter
broke
Renfrow, though?
ankles off the
Yeah,
side.
I think there's a whole other class of receivers like
Hunter
Renfro
Renfrow.
and guys like Cole Beasley and a couple other guys who I can't. It's the small white
See-
guy slot receiver who is just like he gets in the right spaces, gets the ball, and
Yeah,
can
but I
beat
don't-
after he gets
Edelman.
the ball.
Yeah, but I don't want Devontae Smith to be that. I want him to be better
No,
than that.
he has to be much more
No,
than that.
but
I
that's
think
I'm
what Jalen
not
Reagor
saying
is.
I'm saying Devontae Smith has the ability to like be a little bit of both. And I
But,
think
like,
that
hey,
him not
Fritz.
being quick is not him gonna not be successful because of him not
No, I'm
being
just saying
Right.
it's just something
Right.
I worry about. Like if there
Hunter
are any
Renfrow.
worries.
You know,
Who else?
Ja-
Jackson trying to do a take and flopping. It's like
Jackson really enjoys
All
Hunter
right.
Renfro saying the
All right.
name.
He just said
he's trying to
Julian
he's
Edelman,
trying to-
Wes
he's
Welker.
trying
What
to-
else do you want, dude?
Trying
You
to
can do anything
trigger
with
us, and it's not working. It's just failing miserably.
Hunter Renfro.
hey Brits.
Hunter Renfro.
I don't even. Is Hunter Renfro
Devontae
still on the
Smith could be
team
Hunter
right now? Is he
Renfro, Wes
still with
Welker, or Julian Edelman.
All right. Oh my God.
All facts,
Well-
Brits. All facts.
We're gonna give
Jackson had me.
guys
Yeah, I mean the
we're
first
gonna
half.
we're gonna give guys with all that we're gonna give guys credit where credit's due. Okay, let's land this pod.
What
Let's
is
land
this?
it. We're gonna give credit. So
All right, Jackson. chill.
thank you Brits for being the editor for all
Thank
these
you,
weeks.
No, thanks.
One big thank you and Hunter Renfro. Um,
Thanks,
but
Chris.
there's a new Joe in town who's been helping us out. So shouts out to Joseph Kasprak. He may
Kasprak.
not be listening to this part because he told me yesterday night that he doesn't even listen to the Eagles talk. Fake Mo.
He doesn't listen to Eagles talk, only
He's
Sixers.
just all in on Sixers basketball. So
We probably have a couple listeners like that.
Yeah, that's fine. And we'll live with that. So, but
seasonal.
Kasprak specifically,
We'll
you
try
gotta
to
watch
work
the whole
on
thing.
getting hash marks in the videos so you can just get to the section you want to listen to.
But
Yeah,
we
I
had
can
to
start
give
doing that.
we can't just write content or talk about content and not give credit, right? So that's why we gotta we're gonna show a special clip at the end of the episode just for you guys.
I love you. There's a new Joe in town.
That Kasprak actually put together for us. So credit where it's due for Kasprak there.
I think this might have been the closest game of the series, and I think that
Yeah.
maybe the Wizards did themselves a disservice by getting him beat out early in the game. He was rested at the end, and he just absolutely was able to dominate. Maybe the Wizards did themselves a disservice by getting him beat out early in the game. He was rested at the end, and he just absolutely was able to dominate.
Maybe the Wizards did themselves a disservice by getting him beat out early in the game. He was rested at the end, and he just absolutely was able to
Pod prison boys.
And he's in
Yeah, I
prison.
replied to that message. I said I'm stealing this, and I'm going to say it on the podcast. So
Well, we don't have
I'm
any
not-
evidence. We have no
not
evidence
apologizing.
of that. But you didn't give any shouts out to him, so
Court's in
that's
session.
How
Court's
do
in
you know I
session
didn't
next
steal
pod,
another
everyone.
hashtag take
court
this
is in
episode?
session. Next pod, we could be sending Jackson to prison. So
We might actually we could get Katzbrack to feature if he wants. for,
Katzbrack?
a little bit
This
of
should,
court.
be, this should be a warning to Casbrack. Any takes to send me. I'm using
Katzbrack should be the judge, the
Just,
jury.
yeah,
and
just bring him
sentencing
on
your
for
ass.
court. Little lawyer
bring him up for
appearance.
court.
Court TV. All right, boys.
Spit
The
some
pod
I can't believe you guys caught me like
has
that. I feel like I'm freaking got
landed.
caught red-handed.
We'll catch you next week. All right.
All right. See
Later,
you guys.
everyone.
Talk to you guys next time.
Oh, what a
Bye-bye.
mess.